Alright guys, this is Peter the Halo Pro speaking. This is my first time doing a little YouTube, anything with YouTube type deal. So, I'm sure you guys are wondering about a hidden blade. Well, this one right here is mine. Thanks to the design of Mr. Scout, which I probably sure you guys should know by now. But how the blade works is simple. I haven't found any of the straps. All I have is the glove, but I will put up another video possibly showing on how to make a strap and probably how to make a gauntlet, because I just need to buy all the supplies first. But like I said, it's just simple to do. Have your wire and string, like on Mr. Scout's video. You can put on either finger. You can put on your wedding finger, middle finger, index, doesn't matter. But preferably one of the three. But for me, I'm putting it on my wedding finger. Okay? What you pretty much do is fall on it until it all comes out. Like that. Okay? Perfect hidden blade. Make sure that your drawer slide is right at even, be like a little bit below your wrist, if you want this to 100% work. And then if you could either do that, just let it slide back in, switch your hand back up, or shimmy it off your finger. And of course all the supplies, it's 2-pound test springs. Make sure it's really stretchy, because if you get a really solid one, it's going to be really hard to actually open the thing. Because whenever I made my prototype, I threw that one away. I made my prototype with the same length, but like not flexible enough string, so it didn't really work out. Okay, so 2-pound test. So if you're going to Home Depot, make sure the box is 1.1 or 2.40. Okay. Nuts and bolts. Preferably number 8 by 32. Make sure it's number 8 by 32. Cannot, unless you find a smaller hole. But otherwise, any nut and bolt will work. But preferably number 8, 32. Or 34, one of the two. Okay. And people are always wondering what he did with the extra spring back there. Well, there's really nothing much you can do with the extra spring that's back here. So what I did was I bent this little piece right there, little circular piece, and I bent it a little bit so whenever this piece back here is bent up, I put it a little closer there. So whenever this piece is bent up, I could just slide it in, twist it off to the side, and it will stay in place. So whenever the blade actually comes out, it'll actually, springs will start like slowly popping out, so it goes out to the designated length. Now I'm trying to find an anti-locking pin, but I don't think there's really, such a thing for an anti-locking pin. So I've been testing it out a couple of times, and it actually stays out pretty stiff, so whenever you go stab something, it's basically the strength of your hand that counts. So whenever you go stab something, make sure your hand's perfectly solid. So, whenever you go stab somebody, I don't really prefer that you did, but like stab cardboard box or something, it should stay out, it should stay pretty thick. So, and I think that's pretty much it, guys. It's my Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade. So remember, 14-inch drawer slide, nuts and bolts, 2-pound test springs, any wire, fishing line, really strong string, wire, fishing line, to tie onto the bottom right there. You need to be right there or right there. You have to measure out the string either way. And any size letter opener, preferably one that would actually, fit inside here, and make sure it's not really that long. This one's a good 2-3 inch blade, I believe. And took me a while to, you know, actually measure it out, because the letter opener is actually really hard to drill through, especially if you have a really strong tower drill. It's really hard to, you know, drill through because of that solid metal. So 14-inch door slide, letter opener of your choice size, doesn't matter, nuts and bolts, and 2-pound test springs, wire, and a loop. Well, I will be back on later, hopefully somewhere before the end of the month or before Halo Reach comes out, on how to make a good gauntlet to actually have you strap on. Well, this is Peter Halo Pro. Good night.